So now that I got the cabinets done and all this done up here, the only thing left in the kitchen is to finish the flooring. I'm very excited about getting this done. Hey everybody, I'm Bill with Live Simple, Live Free. It's been a long time in coming, but I'm going to get this floor finished. I've had to make a few changes from the original plan. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. So as you can see, the floor down here is in kind of bad shape. This is actually stick down tile. You peel it off and stick it and it moves. See that? And look at this. This is all moved. This was old tile down underneath. I think that was like one piece of linoleum or something, and then they put this stick-on stuff on top of it. And it all slides around over time. And the color's not good and whatever else. So it's time to get it changed. So when I did this addition and I laid this floor, I laid the floor about a year ago, last summer. And when I bought that tile, I bought enough to run through here and do the entire kitchen as well, so it would all match. And this is the stuff that I used. I got it at Lowe's. It's called Smart Core. And I got to tell you, I already talked about this in a couple other videos, but that stuff is junk. It is supposed to lock together. It does lock together, but it doesn't stay locked together. This has been here about a year, and right here, this is tight, but I don't know if you can see it. This is starting to separate all the way around, all the way across. And there's no way that I know of, there's another one. There's no way that I know of to put that back together again. And so like I said, I've already talked about this before. About a month ago, I put that same white tile in our camper truck. And after a couple of days, I realized it was, especially driving down the road and all the vibration, it was all separating. It didn't work. So I ended up pulling it out and putting in something else. This was actually what we put in our bathroom here in the house, and we really like it. It's now been in the truck for about a month. I've been driving it around, kept taking a couple of highway trips, all that movement and vibration and all that. This new stuff is absolutely locked together. It's not separating at all. So it's going to be good in this kitchen here. So there's going to be a transition right here from the old to the new, right there in the doorway. I really didn't want to do that. I'd much rather have the same thing running all the way through. But it is a doorway. It's a different room. So I'm hoping it's going to look okay. And we may, in the future sometime, tear out that old stuff and put in, you know, match it with what I'm putting in here. But that's a whole nother project and a whole nother job to clean out that room and replace the tile. For right now, I just got to get the kitchen done. So this is what we will be using instead. We also got this at Lowe's. It's Pergo brand Duracraft. It's about twice as thick as this stuff, and it locks together much better and it stays together much better. And as far as the color, it's whiter than this one. Still got grays in it, but it's whiter than this one. And we think that the white matches the white in the cabinets better than the gray did in that other one. Also, this has got gray in it, but it's also got gold in it, and that gold kind of matches this highlighted gold bronze sort of color in here. It really matches it well. Now this base molding over here has a couple pieces missing there and over there, and then it's pieced together. So I'm going to tear that out and have to replace it. But in the meantime, I'm not going to do that until later. This is going to go right up against there, and then it'll have a piece of shoe quarter round here. Since I'm going to tear this out, I could just tear it out, put this right against the wall and put that on top, but then it won't match the rest of the kitchen. So I'm going to go ahead and do this so it'll match the rest of the kitchen. And then I'm also going to want this good factory edge where it locks together to be faced this way, so that if I do replace this, I'll have a corner there, a lip there that I can lock onto. I don't want to make a cut because then it won't lock. So if this will be right up against there, I'm just going to extend that right across like this and then cut this off. So I've got a leftover piece of molding here that's just going to be a straight edge for me. Now I'm going to cut that back just a little bit to make sure the tile will fit, and then there'll be another piece of metal like this that'll cover that gap right there. So I can actually leave a little bit of breathing room there. I'm going to replace this with a new one. So I'm going to cut this in half, start with a half piece. Now if I start with a whole piece up here against the wall, then when I get here, I got to cut out this vent, and the entire vent is covered. I can measure it, I certainly have done that before, but it's easier if I put a half piece on the end first. So then I put this one in. See how this just locks right into place, locks tight. That's cool. And that way then I can see this. Put a line there, mark this. $11. So there's the cut that I have to make. And it's much easier to figure that out if you can see a little bit of the gap right there than trying to measure the whole thing if it's covered up like that. Okay, dear one, so what do you think of the change in color between the two rooms.
I think that once we have something to kind of separate them, I'm thinking it might work.
Well, this goes in here. I got this new register.
Oh, honey, that
And then this is the
gorgeous.
Same color. Goes right there like that. Think that'll work?
You know, that really makes a difference because it makes it truly look like you're just entering into a completely new area.
Right.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that one in the bathroom, and to have one like that here, too.
Yeah, this isn't the same, but it's similar. We
Yes.
also have another register around the corner. I realized when I got home, I got to get another one of these that matches to go back there.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay, I guess.
Oh, and I think this is going to work. Oh, it's going to be so pretty in here.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with it.
Thanks, hon.
So I pulled the refrigerator out. Now I'm working back here behind the fridge. You know, every single time I ever do anything on the floor like this, I get at least a dozen comments or more of people saying, "Bill, where are your knee pads?" I don't have knee pads. This is sealed, what do they call it, closed cell foam. And there's 2 of them, and I doubled them over. There's 4 layers. This is more than enough to take care of my knees. Knee pads are very uncomfortable when you stand up. They're fine when you're kneeling, but I can't stand them when they're standing up. So I just use this instead, and I can just move it as I go. Works fine. I got to put a full piece there. Take me a minute to figure out the orientation of these to lock in properly. These are not glued down. They all lock together into one big huge piece, and then they just float here like this. So there's this junction box here. I'm not sure what it was. Something to do with the clothes washer, probably. So I thought it was just a wire coming up from underneath. I was just going to eliminate it, push the wire down through. But I took the cover off. There's actually 3 wires in there. There's one that comes up from underneath, and there's 2 that go back into the wall. So I couldn't eliminate it. So it was right down on the floor where this wouldn't slide under it. So I just moved it up on the wall just enough that I can get the tile underneath of it. When you first start out, you only have a row or 2. It's kind of hard to keep the joints tight because you hammer here to seal that one up, and it opens up this one over here. So now I have to do that one again, and then that one will probably open up again. Once I get like 3 rows or more, it doesn't do that anymore. It becomes much easier. But if I would continue running more tile down here without closing that one up right now, I would never get it closed later. I don't know if this is going to roll up on there or not. I hope it does. Had to lift it up over that little edge, but that's not too bad. All right. So that's looking good. Now the main part of the floor out here will actually go pretty quickly because I don't have to make any cuts. I just use full pieces and put them in there. But I can't do that yet. I got to start over here. The next thing for me to do is underneath of the dishwasher. Unfortunately, I have to take that dishwasher out. I have to uninstall it and then reinstall it. I could just run, over here. The tile is just going to be right butted up against that. I could do that there as well in front of the dishwasher. The problem is if that ever needs to be changed, a new dishwasher put in, there's a possibility that the new floor will be just high enough that you can't get the dishwasher out without taking the counter off. And that would be really bad. There are several ways to mount the dishwasher. You can mount it up this way or with screws, or you can screw it in this way. This one, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got just, let me see if I can put a light on it. It's got just this little space. It's hard to do with not enough fingers. This little space right here. And that's all the room that I've got to raise it. Now also, right here, there's a metal piece that's attached to the underside of the cabinet that allows you to screw it up into that metal piece. So this particular dishwasher, when I installed it, I didn't do it that way. I screwed it into the side. So what I'm going to do is take it out, take that metal piece out so I can raise the dishwasher up a little bit and then run the tile underneath of it so I don't have an issue if I have to ever install a new dishwasher. So the unfortunate thing here is that I have a whole dishwasher full of dirty dishes and I was just about to run a load, and then I realized if I did that I wouldn't be able to do any of this work until the load was done, which takes several hours. So I don't think that adds that much weight, but I'm going to have to do that with the dirty dishes in there. It's just a matter of taking out a few screws from the side. Can't get to that screw without taking this whole rack out. That'll make it lighter anyway. Okay. So now I've got this dishwasher pulled out and I'm looking in the hole where it goes. It's not really necessary to run the tile all the way back. As you can see, there have been 2 layers here and the tile did not run back. The problem is when the leg of the dishwasher, you're pulling it out and it'll hook on there or hook on there and it won't come out. So I'm just going to run a piece, one piece, and it'll go back about like that so that the front legs are sitting on there, and that should be fine. Now up here, this is that metal piece I was talking about. I'm going to take that out so that I have more space. You see, that's like 1/4 inch thick. And this metal strip that's meant for mounting the dishwasher is not screwed up into the granite countertop. There's a little metal tab bent down and it's screwed into the wood on the sides. So this will be easy to take out. Easy peasy. So I was excited because I was able to pull this dishwasher out this far without unhooking the pipes and the wires. And I thought I was going to be able to do it without unhooking it. That would be cool, because I did get this in there. But then I realized that in order to get this straight, I need to put this piece in. And I can't do that there with the dishwasher there. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, unhook those wires and hoses, get the dishwasher further away so I can lay a couple pieces here. Well, so now I got the dishwasher pulled away a little bit more so I have room to get in there. All right, I got this done. I did put another piece further in the back, not because you can see it, because you can't, but that just gives a smoother surface for the dishwasher to slide on so it won't get caught on that old vinyl that's down underneath of it. So now hopefully I'll be able to get this thing back in the hole again where it belongs. Just barely enough room. All right, so now that I've got that run, I can start running these long runs all the way down through the whole kitchen. That'll go a lot faster, hopefully. Now, several videos ago, I did the molding and I left a gap here underneath, and I had several people ask me why I did that. Well, that was because I knew the flooring was going in, and that way I could just slide the flooring right underneath. Makes it much easier. But what I didn't realize, I didn't think far enough in advance, or I didn't know how the flooring was actually going to be laid out. In order to put this down, I have to lock it in here and then lay it down that way. And I can't do that because this is in the way. So, unfortunately, unless I want to cut it short and then it would look bad, if I want to get the tile underneath of there, I'm going to have to take the molding off. Frustrating. I just realized it'd be a lot easier to do if I just take the door off. But the door is full all the way up, full up with spices. I don't want to take all those out, so I'm just going to go do it very carefully. This is a heavy door with all of these spices in it. Man, I hate doing this. Gonna have to take it off all the way up. Or well, maybe not. Yeah, I can slide the piece underneath of there. Okay, here's one thing that I've learned along the way as I'm working with this. There's a little bit of a crack here. It won't tighten up. I don't know if you can see that from there. But I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't. Some of them just wouldn't tighten up no matter how hard I hammered. And then I discovered that that's because there's a little groove in here. And if there's any debris in there, it keeps this tongue from going all the way in. So I have a little paper clip here. And I make sure I clean out anything that's in the way. Didn't really feel anything that time. Yeah, but see, it tightened up. And now I have to nail it down this way to make that joint. And hopefully it'll slide underneath of there. I might not have to take this off. All right, perfect. This joint's tight. This joint's tight. This has got a little gap there. There's no way I could make it tight and fit it in there. So maybe a little bit of caulk or something in there. As much as I hate to say that. But I'm happy with that. And now that I've got the factory edge back here, I might actually be able to run more back there. I'll just have to see what I can do with it. But that'll be later. I want to finish the main floor first. This is a propane stove. There's a valve inside the closet here to turn the propane off, which I've done. Now I have to take off that propane supply line. You know, we have a little Coleman propane cook stove for our camper truck. And people ask me all the time if it's safe. You've got to make sure you're well ventilated, open the windows and all that kind of stuff. Well, this is a propane stove right here. And you never hear about people worrying about ventilating when you use your cook stove in the kitchen. So if it's safe in here, it's safe in there. I'm not concerned about it. Okay, I got to get this completely out of the way so I can get to that. Now on this side of the door, I did have to pull off the doorstop molding right here. It'll be nice to cover up this nastiness right there. Okay, so now we got the kitchen all done. Of course, I still got to do the moldings up underneath of there, that sort of thing. But this was the slow, tedious part. The only thing left is the dining area here, which is about 2/3 finished, and it's pretty straightforward. So I'm almost done. It should go much faster after this. See this section here, when I don't have to make any cuts, actually goes quite fast. Oh, that was perfect. Fit right in there. Okay, all done. Now, this is the original transition strip that was here, but there's some problems with this now. This is a 1/4 inch thick, and it's completely flat on the bottom, and the underlaying tile was already higher than this, so it already sat at an angle, but this tile is a 1/4 inch thicker, so now when I put it in here, it's going to be at a big angle like that, and it's going to be up off the tile there. Dirt can get under there, and that would be a tripping hazard. So that's not going to work. So I got a metal one that's got a bit of a bevel on it, and that one will go like this, and it won't be such a tripping hazard. This is a 3-foot piece. Apparently this hallway is 3 feet and about an inch, so there's a gap there, but I'm going to put it tight here and leave the gap there because I'm also going to be putting a 1/4 round molding here, and I'll just run it all the way out and cover that. So that should work. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, this baseboard molding from there over to that box, I'm just going to replace all of that. It was pieced in and several pieces are missing. From there over, the baseboard looks fine, except it's just in desperate need of a paint job. I might get some questions about why I don't tape this along the wall. I never tape it. It's just so time consuming, intensive, and if you have a steady hand, it's just not necessary. I tried to tape when I first started painting like 30 years ago, and I very quickly gave it up, and now I never do anymore. Just need a steady hand. The only time you would tape would be if you were going to actually spray paint. when we first bought this house, moved into it, I can't believe it's been five and a half years now. It blows my mind. But anyway, before we moved in, I painted the entire house on the inside, all the walls. And then a couple of weeks ago, I repainted these walls. But I've never touched the baseboard. As you can see, the whole house is in desperate need of the base and all the trim work being repainted. You can even see up here some bare spots. All that needs to be done. But that's another project. For this project, it's just the kitchen. That corner looks good, but I'm going to have to touch up the paint a little bit along the wall right here where the old molding was. That won't be any big deal. Well, I'm finished the whole kitchen dining room area, and it's looking really good to me. So dear, what do you think of your new floor?
It is beautiful. I love how open and light and fresh it feels in here. This is just a lovely floor. So it feels so good in here, hon. Thank you. It's amazing. And I just love how the colors work. If you look at the flooring, besides that soft white, there's a silvery gray and then the kind of bronzy gold color. We've shown you that before out in the RV, and I love this because that silver gray picks up on the sort of silvery grayness of the walls. Our appliances, which are like steel, but the same basic color. The countertop, it just beautifully goes with that. But then that beautiful bronzy gold in it is picked up in all of these, like the edges here. That antique looking edges on all of this, and I don't know, the colors just are beautiful to me.
Well dear, I think with the installation of this floor, your kitchen is done.
When I think of how far this whole area has come since we first got the house, I am delighted with it, and thank you so much, hon. I mean, what a lot of work. Starting from literally building out that whole room, and then all the beautiful stuff you've done in here. I just love it. And yeah, we are going to be trying when we can get to it and get it ready for you to give you like the final tour and make sure that you get to see all the work that's been done.
Yeah, we did the addition, which is the laundry room, and the renovation here. We also replaced the front deck.
The bathroom.
The bathroom. So we'll show all of the renovations we've done on the house.
Yeah.
That'll be in a few weeks.
And I want you to notice that we really realize that these panels look a lot better facing out than seeing their backsides.
Yeah.
So
we got a lot of comments about how ugly they were seeing the backside. Turn them around, and you're right. It looks much better this way.
It's much better, yes.
So, thanks for hanging in there with me over these years of finishing this renovation. It's now done. I'm so glad. So, thanks for watching.
Yep, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
We love you guys. And we'll, like I said, try to give you the grand tour soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.